It's not that I don't want you here. Yeah. It's something about the way you stare into my eyes. I know that I don't make things clear. I fall for you every time I try to resist you. We can get away. Palm trees, beach views, ordinary day. All I wanna hear is in the dishes I replay. Sit right next to you. I try not to show how I feel about you. You wish you away, but we don't really want to. I just wanna get away. Sit right next to you. I wanna kiss you. Yeah, I just wanna feel you. Feel you. I want you around.
Hey y'all, welcome back. It's Danielle. So I wanted to make this video to do a quick house update. I know that I kind of left off with the cliffhanger. Wasn't really sure. I wasn't myself sure what was going to happen with the house. Everything was up in the air. There's so many variables, so many things kind of, again, up in the air. If you guys have been keeping up with what's going on in the world, anyone who's been building a home from scratch, if you've been trying to purchase a new construction home, then you know that there have been a bunch of global supply chain issues. It's been affecting the cars. It's been affecting the new car market. It's been affecting the used car market. It's been affecting the new construction home market. It's been affecting everything. And then that coupled with inflation and the fact that we're going into a recession, and the fact that there's all of these increased prices with gas, which is part of inflation. There's all these different factors that are happening. Lumber last year was an issue, and then it was cement, and then it was like garage doors, and it was what else? There's all these different things that are happening and affecting all of these components that are required to build a home. So that was happening. There are all these delays with the home building process. We've been under contract since November of 2021. It is now August of 2022, and we are finally in the kind of home stretch of the process. So it's pretty much official at this point that we are going to be getting our house. Another update is that I ended up needing to get a new job. So in order to move forward in the process, I'd have to have 2 checks from my new job. So, and initially we were scheduled to close on September the 8th, or settle on September the 8th, but I need 2 checks. So yeah, we could not close on September the 8th. So now I just got a new prospectus that our new settlement date is September the 30th. Our realtor's pushing for September the 23rd. So at this point, it's not really an issue of if we're gonna get our house. It's more of an issue of what our closing date is gonna be. And it was all kind of based around me getting those first 2 paychecks. And this is an issue because, like I said, there's been so many things that have happened as far as like interest rate hikes and delays and price increases. Every time the price has increased on this house, it's been by $50,000. So we're incurring major expenses. Whenever the builder incurs major expenses, they of course pass those expenses on to the buyers. So the house is going to cost a lot more now than it was going to cost initially. Initially, it was going to be under $500,000. Now it's well over $500,000. And then couple that with the fact that there's also interest rates are sky high. Interest rates nationwide are above 5%. They're almost at 6% nationwide. When we started this process in November, when we first got our pre-approval, our interest rate was 3% or 2.7%. So yeah, everything is different now. It's completely different market. It's completely different scenario. Everything is completely 180 from where it was when we first got under contract. So yeah, we had to adjust and we had to figure out how to make all this work, and we've been doing that. So that's the update. We are getting our house, but just a matter of when we're going to be getting it. And like, it was a lot of just challenges in this process. I wasn't really sure if we were going to be able to still make it happen. And in the end, thankfully we are, but I didn't want to like bring y'all along in all that uncertainty, because I was kind of, I wouldn't say I was in a negative headspace about it, but I was kind of at the point where I was like, you know what, if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Maybe it's not for me. And I was kind of getting into that space, and I just didn't want to bring y'all into that headspace with me. And then it happened. And also didn't want to like have to say, oh yeah, it's going to happen, but then say, oh no, it's not. And then go back. I didn't want to be going back and forth and like yeah, that's the gist of it. I wasn't sure. I didn't know what was going to happen, and I preferred to wait until I knew for sure before I told y'all what was going on. So that is now what's going on. We're definitely going to be taking ownership of our house in September. The only question is if it's going to be September 23rd or September the 30th. Again, today's August the 5th. So it's a little over, it's a month and a little over a month and a half, maybe about a month and 3 weeks. A month and 3 weeks before we take ownership of our house, and that's so exciting. Y'all, we've been in the home, if y'all have been following along, we started this process in 2 years ago. We started actually looking at houses 2 years ago. We had some savings, and we were like, okay, it's time to start looking. We always wanted to start with a new build. Well, no, did we? At this point, I don't even remember. I know we looked at some houses. Initially, we were looking in Delaware because Delaware is tax-free. It's also a little over an hour away from us because we live in Maryland right now, just outside of DC. And let me roll the window because y'all probably can hear the wind noise, and I don't want that to be like affecting. It's probably already affected the quality of the audio on this video, but hopefully it's not too bad. But yeah, so initially we were looking in Delaware. We looked at some existing houses there. Then we found some new builds to look at. So we were kind of like just weighing our options as far as Delaware. But at the time, the prices were really good at the time. Interest rates were really good at the time. But in Delaware, if you're not aware, you have to have pay like an upfront tax or an upfront duty fee or something. There's some kind of fee that you have to pay up front, which is pretty much the same amount as closing costs. So you have to have all that money up front when you're ready to buy in Delaware, and we didn't have it at the time. So it was improbable that we were going to be able to buy a house in Delaware. So then it was like, okay, so we were like, let's just keep saving. And then we eventually started looking in Virginia. In the county that we were looking at in Virginia, property taxes are super low in Delaware too. And then in the county that we're looking at in Delaware, in Virginia. So we started in Delaware, migrated to looking in Virginia. We kind of like changed gears because of the duty tax in Delaware. It's not called a duty tax. I don't know what it's called. I don't remember, but it's called something, and you have to pay it up. You have to pay it at the closing table, basically. So you need a good amount of money when you're going to closing in Delaware, and we didn't have it at the time. So we were like, okay, let's just keep saving. We were just coming off our debt-free journey. I have videos on my channel where we were coming out of debt. We had $15,000 in debt. We were paying it off while simultaneously saving. So we didn't have $40,000 in the bank at that point to put down on a house. So that's the reason why we didn't moved to Delaware. And then we started kind of migrated and started looking in Virginia. We found a county in Virginia that had really low property taxes that were pretty much on par with Delaware property taxes. Where we live right now in PG County, taxes are sky high. You are going to pay a ton of money in property taxes every year. If you live in DC, it's even worse. So yeah, we ended up again migrating to definitely not in the DMV, definitely way past the DMV area. We are our new house is an hour and 10 minutes from the house from where we live right now, from door to door. It's an hour and 10 minutes without traffic. With traffic, you're looking at an hour 30, hour 45 minutes. It can go up to like 2 hours depending on how bad the traffic is. So again, property taxes are pretty low where we're moving to. Again, it's outside of the DMV area. We are not going to be DMVers anymore. This is officially outside of that range. But we found this house. We started looking initially in Fredericksburg, but didn't find anything that we liked. And at the time when we were looking, this was last year, it was like that boom where the interest rates went to 2% and everybody was out there looking for a house. And it's also in the kind of like in the middle of the COVID pandemic, and there was just like everybody was looking for more land, everybody was looking for bigger homes, everybody was working remotely, and it just created this environment where you could not get a house if you weren't paying $50,000 over asking, and the prices were just jumping and jumping and jumping. So we were like, you know what, I'm not about to do this. And in addition to all of those circumstances, there was also the fact that none of the houses that we looked at were what we wanted. Like all of them would have required some kind of renovations. and they mostly needed upgrading. They were built in the early 2000s or earlier. A lot of them, most of them were built in the early 2000s. And then, another major issue is that none of the neighborhoods in Fredericksburg would let my husband have his work truck in the neighborhood. So there were just so many issues that created a problem for us being able to move there. Even though Fredericksburg is beautiful, they have a ton of things to do. Everything that you could think of is in Fredericksburg, but it wasn't going to work for us because of all the HOAs. None of them would allow my husband to have his work truck. All of them the lots were really small as far as how much land you get. A lot, like one house was on a hill, and the driveway was kind of like a really steep hill, and the backyard was so small. And we want to put a play set in the backyard for the kids, and we want to have like an area to kind of relax in the backyard, and none of that was going to be able to happen because Fredericksburg is one of those more populated areas, and the lots are smaller. So we ended up going to where we're going to be moving now, which is way further than Fredericksburg from DC. And we're so happy with the property that we chose. We are on a 1 acre lot. We are, the layout is absolutely perfect. It's going to be completely brand new, and it's going to be exactly the way we want it. So it's perfect. So when I saw that house, I was like, yes, this is it. Nothing else is going to compare to this. This is the house, and yes, this is it. So we got on the waiting list February 2021. We went under contract in November of 2021, and then that's where they were supposed to start actually building the house in November. But because of all the issues that were happening with the supply chain, and things were hard to get. Again, lumber, key factor in building a house, you need lumber. So you also need cement. You also need bathtubs were hard to get. Garage doors were hard to get. Maybe windows, there was an issue. There was an issue with all these different appliances were hard to get. So there's all these different things that are creating this major issue. And then once things become hard to get, of course, prices go up. That created a price increase, and the price increased by $50,000. It had already increased before we got on the waiting list. When we were on the waiting list, but before we got under contract, it went up once. When we were under contract, it went up again by $50,000 each time. And so now the house is $100,000 more than we thought it was going to be. This is base price, y'all, before any upgrades. So here's the timeline. February, wait list. November, we under contract. I think we went to the design center in maybe 3 months ago, 3 or 4 months ago. I don't remember exactly the day that we went, the month that we went, but we went to the design center. And then maybe 3 weeks after we went to the design center, maybe a month. It's been probably between 2 weeks and a month after the design center, we got the news that they were raising the price by $50,000. So then that was a factor. Then we were like, oh goodness, because by this time interest rates were also rising. So we were not sure what was going to happen then. But we were like, okay, we'll just continue and we'll try to figure it out down the road. We still have time to get our ducks in a row. So price increase happened. We decided to push forward. If we were not able to still build the house, we were going to lose our deposits, because we kind of waived it by continuing to move forward with the process, but we were willing to do it. This particular builder didn't charge a ton in deposits, so we put one initial deposit down for $1,000, and then the second deposit was also $1,000. So it was worth $2,000 to kind of give us more time to get ourselves together to be able to still buy the house. And here we are. We're in the kind of home stretch of the process. We're going to be taking ownership of our house next month. And now we can start the fun stuff. So it's going to be after we move in, there's going to be all of the design conversations and videos about furniture. And y'all know our basement is going to be unfinished. So we need to get consultations and 3D renderings and estimates for finishing the basement and kind of figuring out the configurations of all that. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of exciting stuff happening on my channel moving forward. I was going to just not make any more videos until we move, because I wanted to do a tour and all that, and just kind of have that be my comeback. But I did want to give you guys an update because I kind of left y'all hanging. So I've been getting questions about how the process is going and all that about the new house. So I just wanted to give y'all like a quick update on what's going on. And of course, I am going to take you guys through every single process of every single thing we do in this house, from organization to cleaning videos to tours, some empty house tour, furnished house tours, basement remodeling or basement finishing, picking out furniture, all the design stuff, closet configurations, and all the stuff that's going to be happening in this new house. You guys are going to be party to it. You'll be able to kind of give me your input and let me know what you think. And yeah, I'm going to take you guys through every single thing. There are probably literally going to be hundreds of videos about everything that has to do with the house. So I just want you guys to stay tuned, and I just wanted to give y'all an update to let you know where we are and what's going to be happening and what's to come. Videos are probably going to be pretty sparse from me up until the end of September, when we actually move into the house or get the keys. But I just wanted to let y'all know we're working on it and it's coming. It's just not, it doesn't happen in my time. There's divine timing for everything. There's kind of in order to things. There's a gestation period for every dream, and ours is finally coming to fruition, but we couldn't control the timing of it. And I know it's been a long time, but it's going to be worth it in the end. And I can't wait for you guys to see the house once it's done. Oh, just as a little treat and a little bonus, I'll go ahead and insert some footage from the most recent walkthrough that we did. The drywall is up inside the house. The stairs are in. The windows are in. It's pretty much, it's a structure at this point. The house has been wrapped in everything with like the tie-back paper or whatever you call it. So yeah, it's a house at this point. The driveway has not been put in yet, but the inside of the house is pretty much done, except for the fact that there's nothing in it. So I think the tub is in upstairs in the kids' bathroom. But the last time we went, there was pretty much nothing inside the house except stairs and maybe one bathtub. Everything else is just an empty slate, but I have plenty of footage. So I'm going to go ahead and insert that right now, so you guys can see what's kind of going on right now. But there will be another walkthrough video before we take ownership. We have to do a walkthrough. So yeah, everything having to do with the house from this point forward, I'm going to take you guys along. But yeah, enjoy the footage of what the house looks like right now, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
I want you to ride.